All right, welcome everybody. This is the Tour Talk Cart Ready for the Medallion Country Club. My name is Jacob Bridges, and again, I'd like to welcome you all to this episode. So, just a few moments ago, this session is recorded and it does not have any participants, as our earlier segment here, where we had about 40 players. But I had some audio difficulty, and doing so, we kind of pull a mulligan and I switched to using my phone to communicate, but then use my computer as a video. And it was a lot of technical difficulty. We went on with it, tried to explain the best I could, basically what I prepared here. And now I'm just doing this solo, so that way the content is available for the players that could not participate. So again, this is a Tour Talk Cart Ready for Medallion Club. Um, Again, I'm your director, Jacob Bridges. If this is your first event, I'm going to go over some things as we look at our tournament tomorrow. So this session is recorded. So again, it's available for those, again, to share and to look at as they look at our tournament for Monday. So looking at some of the topics, we're going to look at the recap, some of the things on the database, um, our event for tomorrow, how, what the arrival looks like, if we have any weather, what the policy is, scoring, how scoring is going to work, tee assignments for those flights, some social distancing, and you can see there what those are going to be. So we'll get right into our recap. So many of you are familiar with this. Those who are not, I do this thing called Tour Talk every Wednesday during the week, and then every day before and after the tournament. The day before the tournament is this episode you're here right now for. And then the day after the tournament at 7 o'clock, same session ID, same password. We announce our flight winners and go over the award of trophy and prize. How you can find all that, it's on the database. I call it the database. It's the Weblink. Whereas if you click that globe icon that's on the Facebook tour page, it will launch a file share document, which is an Excel database I created. And once you kind of see here, um, you know, you hit Tour Talk and it will kind of open up all these buttons. So that way, if you have trouble finding it actually in YouTube, you can go here and it will connect you to those episodes. So the database. So I talked about the database. I said the web link. This is kind of what it looks like when you get to the page. You can see all these buttons here. It represents what our schedule is, and there's two ways you can get to it. I already mentioned that there was one way. It's on our Facebook tour page. Again, you click that globe icon in the About section. It will launch this file share doc. And the next way you can do it is by clicking on this link that's embedded within this presentation. So up on the tee. So we are playing the Medallion Club. This is our first local major on the season, the first of four, which is worth double points, Capital City. Against tomorrow with the format straight tees. We're teeing off starting at 9 a.m. I'll be there as your starter with the rules, questions, just as you tee off, making sure that you're recognizing what tees you're playing from, who your competitors are, how scoring is going to work, etc. It's unlimited stroke play, flight it based on handicap. Unfortunately, even though we're single riders and carts, there's no spectators or caddies permitted. So the girlfriend, wife, father, brother that traditionally likes to watch you play in these local events, unfortunately, because of social distancing and policy, they're not permitted. You are permitted to arrive to the course no earlier than 45 minutes before your tee time. So if you're teeing off at 1, you can get there at 12:15. I just ask that you report to the starter 10 minutes prior. So local rule sheet has already been sent out to players. So all that information is listed on there as well. And then I'll have a copy of that on the first tee so you can take a picture of it and refer to it during the round. So your arrival. So this is the parking lot right here. It seems like, as I arrive to the course, I'll be parking somewhere right here. Just kind of moseying my way on around. Here's the cart staging area. So picking up, this is kind of what you'll be doing, arriving in here, picking up a cart. And then you're going to go probably one or to 2 or 3 places. If you're kind of 45 minutes before your tee time, you probably go to the putting green here. You might skip on over to the range, come back to the putting green, and then I'll be right here at this star where you'll be checking in with me as a starter. And then hole number 1's here, going this way. So that's kind of if you kind of study this real quick, if you've never been to this property before, it's gorgeous, it's immaculate. You certainly want to, not be rattled by where to go, where's the range at, etc. Hopefully you can kind of figure this out and navigate your way to those points of interest. So Weather doesn't look like we're going to have any inclement weather, but in the event that we do, um, rule of thumb is if we're off the path, ball is down. That's kind of look like what our conditions are tomorrow. It looks perfect, 79 degrees forecast. Weatherman will never say never, but there's always a 10% chance of rain. So this is kind of what happens if we do have any inclement weather. So on the scoring, so this is how scoring is going to work. As mentioned in the Tour Talk session just here minutes ago, most of the players, I did go over this. If this is their first tournament on the tour, we're going to be using course scorecards. So the traditional way you play golf, man, use a scorecard. You're only responsible for keeping only one score to another player in your group. You may keep your own at the end of the round. So let me start over at the beginning. So at the start of the round, each of you will use a course scorecard, and for a threesome, you're going to have a total of 4 cards. During a round, you're going to keep the score of a competitor in your group, and you also will keep the same for yourself. At the end of the round, one of you, the 4 scorecard holder, all you got to do is sound off your scores to the person, write them all down, and then the person that was keeping your score will attest the same. So once that occurs and that's finished, I ask that that person then just take a picture of the scorecard, and then get the phone numbers of the other players in the group, and then send that picture to everyone, including myself. And what should occur after that is, if I was player A, I'm a acknowledge, or as the scorer, attest the score that I kept for of my competitor, and then I'm acknowledged that my score is correct. So you're kind of going to be doing 2 things: acknowledging yours and attesting the person that you kept score for. Once that occurs, thumbs up. I will, mention that your scorecard's accepted, and the results will be posted as soon as possible. So that's how, and this is kind of a snapshot here on this presentation of how you see that happening. So you got all the scorecards, one scorecard. Mr. Phillips attested his own. Mr. Burbridge attested his own. But what you're going to see here is I attest myself, and I also attest the score of Steve Phillips. Steve Phillips will attest his own, and he will attest the score of player A. Player A will attest his score, and he will attest Tony Burbridge, which was player C in that scenario. All right. Social distancing. So obviously we're single carts, not arriving 45 minutes before tee time. If that's adhered to, it would stay within the order issued by the state, as far as not having groups of more than, I think it's 10, 15, 10 to gather. So if you do that, we won't have any issues. And if it does occur where staff is mixed among us, we will be certainly distanced and not nearby each other. So all carts will be sanitized. And the course will also have, which I've been told that they have installed, a touchless ball retriever. So much like our first event on the season at the Country Club in Murfreesboro Village, you'll see these. The flag sticks are to remain in the holes at all times. However, if the stem is kind of facing towards you, get creative on kind of using your sticks and then kind of shifting the flag stick so that way it rotates the stem away from you. Only a couple issues from the last tournament where players felt like the stem of this device interfered with their ball from going to the hole. That will be mentioned at the first hole, as a starter will announce that to every player that that is permitted, as long as the flag does not be moved out of the hole. Flag stick out of the hole. So optional side games. This was something that was a question of a player out there, where could they still enter in the side games? Certainly. This is just one highlight of one of the side games we have, is the last man standing contest. This is still available, and you're able to enter in any of these optional side games all the way up until the time you tee off. So as long as I get, again, this is cashless event. So as long as I get a deposit prior to your tee time, I'll update the scoring before these results are made official, that you were entered in the contest. So that way it's included and your scores are calculated against it. Trophy and prize fund. Here's a prize fund right here. This is the prize fund that we have in place for tomorrow. We have 81 players. These are the division breakouts. I mentioned that due to flights that did not reach the minimum of players, they were co-joined, and those occurred in the Jones and Snead divisions. So we have Palmer, Hogan, and Saracen playing independent, and we have Senior Hogan and Senior Saracen playing independent flight contests. So these are the prize fund breakouts here. You can kind of see if you happen to place or even finish first, you have the option with the trophy amount or without the trophy amount. So The without trophy here, this is the flex I really like. I think it's going to be something that we'll see permanent going forward in future. Whereas um, if I would like a trophy, which will be mailed to my home, personalized with my name on it, then I will receive a Visa gift card of $200, and then I'll get the trophy. If I'm not the trophy guy, and I would just like a Visa gift card, well, the trophy expense is just added to your Visa gift card, which then increases your reward amount to here, which is our largest fight of Saracen is 20 players. You got a choice between 200 and a trophy or 255. So that's a good option right there. And for an event that you're not even paying half that amount to win at least twice your money in a fight of that size, man, this is pretty awesome. And I think that whoever decides to elect otherwise or not, I think it's just a good option for players to have while they're competing on the tour. So I mentioned about the results. So I'm the last one to go off tomorrow. I'm playing an event as well. So as a custom as to the last tournament we had, same kind of format and setup, the results were posted before midnight. So you certainly won't get a notification of that occurring simply because I don't like reaching out to people past 9, say 10 o'clock. But if my goal is to have these updated by midnight, this is where you'll see those updates happen. So this is the web link. I had the 2 ways in which you can access this earlier. So once you're on the landing page here, you just click on the results. It's going to launch all the courses we play. You just select Medallion Golf Club. And this is currently what the results page looks like. It's prepared. It's ready for scores to be entered. All the formulas are there. And then obviously when all the data gets kind of updated, you just see all the stuff happening and all the things start getting updated. So if you're kind of out there watching this and what I'm doing is auto saved, and again, this is a file share document, you're going to actually see me doing these updates starting around, I don't know, when I get home, 10 o'clock at tomorrow night. So this is how you see the results before I say that they're out there. So go to results page, Medallion Golf Club, and then it'll launch the results of that tournament. So the award ceremony, I mentioned to it. These are some of the trophies we had on tour last year. So as I discussed when we were talking about the prize fund breakout, there's no, I'm not, the reason why this option exists and why it may stay the way going forward is because of social distancing. I'm not pre-purchasing trophies and trying to aim the number to have for the flights that are playing. It's armchairing quarterback. I'm able to look at the event actual needs where we have 7 flights. Could order 7 trophies, and with that, your name comes on it because now we know who the winner is, and it's shipped directly to your house. And the last event, on the call we had Marcus Kidd. He was on the Zoom session just moments ago, and he showed us what it looked like. A silhouette dude, golfer, crystal, and his name on it. I mean, that's pretty neat. I think, like I said, I think we're going to have this stay on tour for the future, social distancing, COVID or not. So I think that's a great option. But nonetheless, there's nothing bad with it if you're just a guy that says I'm not a trophy hunter. I just like the award amount with the expensive trophy added to a Visa gift card. So before we jump out to closing this, I will, let's see, let's hop out. Let's see. We're going to hop out here to the dashboard. And before we finish up here, like I said, I was going to hop out to the dashboard, show some things that have been updated, kind of give you a check-in as to what's going on with our next and upcoming event. Because obviously we're meeting here, we're getting cart ready for a Medallion tomorrow. But right around the corner, which is a week from tomorrow, is our event at the Pinnacle Golf Club. So speaking to you now, so what I'm going to do is share you guys up again. So right now, I'm at the dashboard. So, this is kind of where you land when you get out here. If I go and click on the schedule events, this is kind of where it's going to take me out to. You kind of see here, we're at Medallion Golf Club, 81 players we have on the tee sheet. Launches the event page. I sent pairings out already and via email to all the players. But if you're out here browsing, it's best to be doing this on a computer. But if you certainly want to do this on a mobile device, make sure you change your settings to a desktop mode so the buttons, all that stuff will work. But right now, we're just looking at the tee sheet. This is the active player roster by last name order. It tells you what your tee time is over here on the left, right? You go through all that. It tells you if you are in the optional side games, right? And again, we're talking pairings. So it's over here listed last name alphabetically. Then also it's over here in the pairing group. So if you see your name here and you're kind of like wondering who you play with and what tees you're playing from, it's listed here as well. So you can kind of see where your fellow competitors are, when they're playing, when they might get finished. And it kind of goes through the whole lineup all the way to our last tee time going off at 3 o'clock. Further on the event page, again, if you are kind of not familiar with, the flight parameters, they're right here listed above the prize fund. So if you're looking right at this, we were talking earlier, Saracen flight, what the projected amount is that they're going to win. You can kind of like, well, what is Saracen? Well, Saracen is for players who have handicaps between 12 and 15.9. You can see that listed here. And then here are the pots for the optional side games. So there's a formula built in here. When it's an X designated on a certain flight, it calculates, it updates already. So this is kind of what the optional side game pots look like. Still time. If you have not entered into these, you may do so all the way up until the time you tee off. As long as I get that alert before you do that, I'll update this information before I, again, put the scores in and those results are calculated. How you enter the side games, it's listed right here. It's all broken out for you right here. So and then we go to the results page, which is kind of what was on the presentation there. If you hit the results while you're on that event page, again, it launches this. It's already ready to go. So if I'm just entering some scores here, let's say this guy is Palmer flight. Let's say we just get, we can't do it because we can't edit it. Let me get back in here. Let's stop share and let's share this again. Make sure you guys are looking at this. So where we're going into the results page. And what I was saying is let's have our player here go through par. Oops. Let's give him some par. You can start seeing those numbers already calculate. The handicap differential is going down. The total score for his is going up, right? All right, so my man shot par, right? So Josh Boyer, he shot par tomorrow. That's the handicap differential that you received. And you can kind of see how quickly scores are getting in there. This is, again, pretty fluid. Updates occur pretty, again, they're formulated. So they're not, you as a player are not responsible for the total. You're just responsible for the score. We let the computers and all that stuff figure out the rest. So this is kind of how the results page works. Again, once I save it and all this information keeps going in here, you start seeing the results calculated. What other thing else is the Capital City point standing. So I mentioned that, our event for tomorrow, this is the Capital City points race, how the tournaments are broken out. So, right here, we had changes, right? Because now we're not playing Zanesville, we're playing Medallion. And so we're at a double point event here, and for the Capital City points race, and it's worth 2 times the standard point value. So what you see here is these are the points that are up for grabs for tomorrow. So you got that flight at 20, that Saracen flight. They're using up all the points here that are listed for what's been prepared. So again, with Medallion's a double point, next one is Springfield, next one is Rattlesnake after that, and our tour championship is a 4-pointer. So if we kind of go back to the standings, we got what Saracen flight, right? That's a heavy flight, big numbers, right? So already, we got Robert McDaniel leading the flight. He's at 450, but he's not entering this event. So right now we got Tom Kahari right behind him, Drew Vanskoy. These guys right behind him. 900 points is a lot. It can swing so many things for even players that just didn't have a good round here at Muirfield. You can certainly jump up. These tabs are live up here. So if you quickly want to see a guy that your buddies with on this tour and he's in a Jones flight, bam, goes right down the Jones flight. Marcus Kidd, that guy, man, he's in this event. You got some guys chasing them. That's right behind them. We got a new one into with the dome. We call this Kane Ransom. If you're out there, man, we are inviting Chad Warner. He's coming back down to us in the Jones flight after leaving Saracen from some periods of not too good play, but nonetheless, man, a lot of competition right here. You can see we're not separated by a whole lot, and again, that differential for those points that's up for grabs for this tournament. I think you can see a lot of movement within these standings. So you guys check that out. This is pretty cool. Again, you can just click on this. This takes you up top. Go down to Senior Snead. Look at what's going on there. Senior Jones, what's going on there. And then take you back out to the dashboard. So all the stuff is out here for you. Back to the schedule event page. Like I said, we're looking at Pinnacle Golf Club right after this event. Coming around the corner next week, a week from Monday. We got registration here closing Thursday, June 18th. Unfortunately, today I just did get an update where the practice rounds will not be available to us. With the amount of member play, the owner and pro is not able to allow practice rounds. So for this event, Pinnacle Golf Club is just on the course. No practice. This is where it's at. So right now we got 61 on the sheet. Man, Cincinnati's go. This is a joint event with Cincinnati. Even though we got 61 on the sheet, I very well expect us to reach 100, if not the max of 120. So it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of pull on our part to get people joined and signed up. I mean, I know this is another Monday event. Depending on your situation, whether you're at work or called back in, this is probably an event that you may not be able to play, but certainly I think it's going to be exciting for those who can. And, the support that I have for those that they're trying to commit to this event, rearrange their lifestyle. I sincerely appreciate that effort. But hope that's going to be a good day as well. So I'm going to jump back out of here and kind of wrap things up here. So I'd like to just thank everybody for who was with me earlier. Unfortunately, again, sorry I didn't have the best um, best computer support there, but I quickly learned what the problem was, and then if I ever come across it again, I certainly know how to get through it. So we'll be here next doing the same thing, Zooming, tour talk for the trophy award ceremony for our Medallion Club event this coming Tuesday, June 16th at 7 o'clock. So that's all from now. I'm Jacob Bridges, tour director for the Capital City Immature. Good luck to you those out there, and we'll see you on the course.